It is my responsibility to announce that an executive session was held at 6:30 p.m. this evening to discuss personnel and legal issues. To call the meeting to order, everybody rise for the salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Burkowski, please call the roll.
Mr. Hauser?
Here.
Mrs. Kozer? Yes. Mr. Casio?
Here.
Mrs. Maines? Here. Mr. McConnell?
Here.
Mr. Music?
Here.
Mr. Palmer? Absent. Mrs. Surratt? Here. Dr. Zorch?
Virtually present.
All right. Thank you.
Superintendent's update, Dr. Tepper.
Sure. Thank you. So good evening and welcome on this cold evening. This week marks the second week that our secondary school students have been back to our schools in a brick and mortar setting. And this week also marks the fourth week our elementary school students have returned to school in a brick and mortar setting. We are elated to have our students back and in the buildings receiving the face-to-face instruction and also the ability to interact with their teachers, staff members, and peers. We are thrilled that our county's incident and percent positivity rate for COVID has declined, and Westmoreland County has transitioned from the substantial transmission rate to a moderate transmission rate for COVID-19 for the past 2 consecutive weeks. This is great news, and our hopes are that the incidence and percent positivity rates continue to decline. Please note that during a moderate level of community transmission, school districts no longer are bound to the attestation order that requires schools to follow a 14-day rolling cycle for identification of COVID-19 cases and the closing of schools. Positive identified cases will still be listed on a dashboard on our district website, and decisions to close classrooms and/or school buildings will be made according to various factors relating to transmission, the number of positive cases, or staffing shortages. Just a reminder that during the next 2 Saturdays, our staff and bus drivers will be receiving their second dose of the Moderna vaccine. In order to be proactive, as I have stated at the last meeting, February 2nd, we want to respond to staff and bus drivers who may have adverse side effects after receiving the second dose of the Moderna vaccine. Therefore, we have implemented remote instructional days, or will implement remote instructional days following the vaccination clinics. And as stated on our calendar that was approved February 2nd, all buildings will participate in full remote learning on Monday, February 22nd, and Monday, March 1st, to provide our staff and bus drivers with an additional 24 hours to recover from any adverse reaction to the vaccination. Having the remote learning on Monday, February 22nd and March 1st will assist us in staffing and bus driver shortages that may possibly occur as a result of the individual's experience residual side effects from the vaccine. We thank all of you for your ongoing support during these challenging times, and we again always keep the health, safety, and welfare of our students and our school community as a priority. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Tepper. This part of the meeting, there's an opportunity for anyone in the audience to speak about any item on the agenda this evening. Please state your name and address as you step up to the podium. Please keep your questions or comments to 5 minutes. There will also be time at the end of the meeting for further discussion. Anybody want to come up? Podium up here? Nothing to say? time. Solicitor's report, Mr. Nichols.
Approval of minutes. Approval of minutes first.
Yes.
Move approval of minutes.
Yes.
Resolution 170.
I thought you were going to read it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I move for the adoption of resolution 2020-21, number 170, approval of the minutes from January 19th, 2021, and February 2nd of 2021.
Second.
There a second to this?
Yep. Mrs. Mays?
If there's any questions or comments, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Okay, then.
Thank you.
Mr. Nichols?
I recommend that you move on resolution number 171, approve the tax abatement for 32 East Monroe Street in the city of Latrobe.
Motion on the floor.
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
I recommend that you move on resolution number 172, approve settlement of the tax assessment appeal, approval for First Latrobe Company. This is the Unity Plaza case that we talked about last meeting.
So moved.
Motion made second. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 This resolution passed. Mrs. Maines, Educational Planning.
Thank you. I move for adoption of resolution number 173 to approve ProCare Therapy Services Agreement, including addendum A.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
I also move for adoption of resolution number 174, approve tuition students for the 2021-22 school year, as listed.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
And the next curriculum committee meeting will be held Tuesday, March the 16th, 2021, at 5:30 p.m. here in the CSC. And I'm done. Thank you.
Motion made and second. Any questions?
There's no motion.
Road finance.
Oh, yeah, we're starting with finance now.
Be Mr. LaFawn.
Finance.
The second page.
Got it now, I'm sorry. Mr. Locascio,
Yeah, I'm going to bundle resolutions 175 and 176. Make a motion we approve both of those. That's the treasurer's report and payment of bills.
Second.
motion made and second. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Resolution passes.
Make a motion that we approve resolution 177 to approve the tax collection compensation.
Second.
Motion made and second. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Attached are the minutes from the previous meeting held in February, on February 2nd. And the next meeting for the Finance Committee will be on Tuesday, March 9th at 5:30 in the high school library. That ends my report, Mr. Vice President.
Student activities and recreation.
Facilities.
What's that?
Facilities and operation will be Mr. LaFacio.
No.
Facility and operations and planning, Mr. Ocasio.
Okay, Once again, the minutes from the meeting that was held on February 4th is attached to your agenda, and also the next meeting will be Thursday, March 4th at 3:30 at the Administration Building. That's all, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you. Mr. Cassio. Student activities and recreation?
3 in a row, here we go. I'm getting tired, so there's nothing to say about the student activity. There's no report there at all, so that's the end of my non-report.
Thank you, Mr. Licasio. Community relations, Mrs. Surratt.
The next Greater Latrobe GLSD Parks and Recreation Commission meeting will be Thursday, February the 18th at 4:30 at the Latrobe Municipal Building, Council Chambers. Thank you, Mr. McCommons.
Westmoreland Intermediate Unit, Mrs. May.
Thank you. I move for adoption of resolution number 178 to approve participation in the WIU Joint Purchasing Consortium for the 21-22 school year, authorization for the multi-purpose paper bid.
Second?
Motion made and second. Are there any questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Resolution passed.
The next WIU committee meeting will be held on Tuesday, February the 23rd, 2021 at 7 p.m. and those meetings are still virtual. Thank you.
Thank you. Transportation, Mr. Music.
Thank you. The next Transportation Committee meeting will be on Wednesday, February 24th at 3 o'clock, and that'll be at the I'm going to keep going on. I'll take the Joint Operating Committee.
Would you please?
And motion on the floor to approve Resolution 179, which is the right-of-way and easement agreement granting Dairy Township Supervisors temporary and permanent easement over the Eastern Westmoreland Career and Technology Center's property to construct, install, operate, and maintain storm water lines.
Second?
Motion made and second. Any questions?
Mr. McCommons, could I just ask, could we do this as a roll call, please? Because all 3 of the school districts have to vote on this, and I think that would be the safest way to do it.
Okay. Mr. Hauser.
Yeah.
Mrs. Kozer is absent. Mr. Licasio.
Yes.
Mrs. Maines.
Yes.
Mr. McCommons.
Yes.
Mr. Music.
Yes.
Mr. Palmer is absent. Mrs. Surratt. Yes. Dr. Zorch.
Yes.
Okay. 7 yeas and 2 absent.
Thank you, Mr. McCommons.
Okay. And the next EWCT Joint Operating Committee meeting will be on Wednesday, February 21st. That'll be at 7 o'clock, and that will be at the EWCTC building. That's everything, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you. Mr. Music. Board policy, BSBA liaison, Mrs. Surratt.
Thank you, Mr. McCommons. Resolution number 180 is our notice of intent to adopt board policies. We'll be voting on this at our next board meeting. This is the second look at this. That the Greater Latrobe School Directors hereby give notice of the intent to adopt board policies as listed. Policy number 103 is unchanged. Our procedure document is attached, which covers everything they're looking for in policy 103. 805.2 is the school security personnel. Has a minor change for school police officers' authority. And the policy number 824, maintaining professional adult/student boundaries, has a minor change to address boundaries in a digital learning environment. So we ask that you take a look at those attachments so we can vote on them at the next meeting.
Did you want to move on tonight on the intent to adopt, and then we do the finals next week? Is that Your motion.
You know better than I, Mr. Davis.
That's why I'm also-
If that's how it works, I trust
They're
you.
figuring something out after 40 years.
I trust you. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So we'll
That's
move,
okay.
I'll put a motion out there to move on the notice of intent to adopt the board policies. Excuse me for my misunderstanding.
That's okay.
Second.
We haven't had anyone explain it that well for a while.
There you go. I thought that was my job too. We'll get it figured out.
Somebody second.
Yes, Mrs. Names gave a second.
Are there any questions or comments?
Yes, just one. I too want to thank Kathy for the explanation as to what was going on in those, and I know reading them is not a lot of fun, so thank you.
I'm just getting started. I got a new stack for next time. Thank you, Mr.
Motion made and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Resolution passed.
Thank you. At our next board policy meeting to discuss the next stack will be Wednesday, March 3rd at the Administration Building at 11 a.m. Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. McCombs.
Thank you. Technology. The only thing we have there, the next technology meeting will be to be announced. Health and Safety Committee, Dr. Zord.
I have no formal report except to say that from all the new recommendations from the CDC, the fact that we're vaccinating our teachers, and the fact that children don't seem to be pushing this disease and they're less likely to get seriously ill, I'm hopeful that we won't need the COVID medical board to meet anymore. I think we're done with it. I think we're going to keep our kids in school for the rest of the year without any interruptions. I'm hopeful of that. From the looks of things, I think that's where we're going. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Zord. Superintendent's recommendations, Dr. Tepper.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Hauser, are you on?
I am.
Okay, perfect. I didn't know if we lost you. I'd ask the board.
No, I'm still here.
Okay, I'd ask the board to please move on resolution number 181 to approve the resignations as stated, and I would like to publicly thank Hugh Moxamchuk as a custodian who will be retiring, Karen Owens, a classroom assistant who has been with us for several years. Thank you for your service, as well as Mr. Ron Owens, a technology education teacher who will be retiring as well. The remainder of those are resignations for personal reasons.
So moved. Second.
Motion made and second. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Resolution passed.
Thank you. I ask the board to move on resolution number 182 to approve the professional personnel of substitute teachers as stated.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions, comments on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
I'd ask the board to move on resolution number 183 to approve support personnel classified appointments, which include Rachel Kolar, classroom assistant, Shannon Ulishny, payroll manager, Karen DeSanna, part-time secretary at Bagley Elementary, Rachel Menhorn, health room assistant, Ryan Dillon and Brian Oglembo for full-time custodians, and Cynthia Fowler and Michael Murphy for substitute custodians.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Let's listen.
Sorry, there's something wrong with it. Keeps going in and out. There, we're on. Just under other business, a reminder that virtual parent-teacher conferences will occur on Thursday, March 11th, from 5 to 8 p.m. in the evening. Also, our 8th grade Move Up virtual video presentations will be released on March 1st, and they will be online at glsd.us. And also watch the senior high school webpage for a live question and answer session. Our next board meetings will be held, the Committee of the Whole meeting, Tuesday, March 9th at 7:30 p.m., and our regular Board of Education meeting for March 16th at 7:30 p.m.
This is the second part of the hearing from the visitors. Anybody want to say anything or make comments, please come up to the podium, state your name, address. Hearing nobody want to speak, I move we adopt resolution 184, adjournment.
Second?
Motion made second. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.